Good morning. We're going to ask that you stand and sing along with us on this opening song. 1, 2, 3. We let the love wash over us. We let it be.
Good morning, good morning. Oh, it's so good to see everyone. I'm taking a look around. Hi, some new faces, some wonderful faces are back. Oh, yay, yay, yay. Oh, I'm having a picnic up here. So welcome, everyone. If you're online and you're joining us, we really appreciate you choosing Unity Church of the Hills as your spiritual community. We're an amazing community, and thank you. Yes, we are. And you expect a minister to say that about their community, but there's really something quite special here. And if you're online and you're in the Austin area, we invite you to come here so you can feel it. You get on these grounds, you walk through that door, and you know you're home. You know you're welcomed, you know you're included. And so that's what's so powerful about this community. So it's Sunday, it's June 12th. We are in the midst of Pride Month, and it's a celebration, it's an acknowledgement, it's an empowerment of our brothers and sisters in the LGBTQ community. So we're like celebrating you. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well now. A minister speechless, okay. Wow, that looks fabulous. So we have Reggie Strickland, our program director extraordinaire, is going to be lighting these beautiful candles to celebrate, to hold the knowing of our LGBTQ community. And we have the head of the prayer chaplain, John Fleming, is going to come up now, and he's going to do the opening prayer for us.
Good morning. In these uncertain times, the one thing I know for sure that keeps me grounded is prayer. And I invite and I challenge each of you to be mindful of that. No matter what may be going on in your world and in your life, no matter how troubled you may be, the one thing that you can do is stop, take a deep breath, breathe out, relax into the moment, and begin to express to God what you want God to know. And give God opportunity to tell you what it wants you to know, so that you develop a communion with God, a connection with God, a consistent relationship with God. And let's practice that right now. I invite you to take in a deep breath, breathing in through your nose and breathing out through your mouth, and relax into this moment. And as you continue to breathe, we close our outer eyes and we allow ourselves to say, thank you, God. Thank you for waking us this morning. Thank you for realizing that we greet a new day that you have made. That in this day, we recognize and realize that you have made us uniquely and wonderfully. We know that we are made in your image and likeness, and therefore we cannot be separate from you. We possess all your amazing qualities. We know that because you are good, we are good too, inherently. We say thank you for that. We thank you for the many wonderful gifts and talents that you poured into us that offer us opportunities to share those gifts and talents so that we realize that we are just you with skin on it. We are the omniactive hand of God, moving throughout the world, performing miracles and blessings as you have created us to do. And in this awareness, we say thank you for the fact that there's no mistake about who we are in you. For it is in you that we live, move, and have our being. We allow ourselves to be used by you to your glory and honor. And for this, we say thank you, thank you, thank you. And so it is, and so we allow it to be, and so say we all. Amen.
Thank you, John.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everyone. For those of you who thought my outfits couldn't get any gayer, surprise! Surprise! I like to keep you guessing, so hey, surprise, surprise, here we go. All right, volunteer appreciation game night. If you're a volunteer and you want to be appreciated, or if you just want to come and hang out with us and have some fun, feel free to do so. June 17th, Friday night, 6 to 9 p.m., Friendship Hall. There will be finger foods, there will be fun and excitement, and Rev Sheree is going to bring her bingo game, and feel free to bring your own personal games if you want to. It's going to be a great night. Please join us. If you have a kid between the age of 6 and 12, and you're genuinely invested in how they spend their time, or you just want to get them out of the house for a little, get rid of them for a while, there's a kids choir camp happening June 21st through 24th. They'll be learning 2 songs. They'll perform 2 of those songs here on the 26th. And Celebration will be backing them up on 1 song, right? Yeah, so it could be a good time. Join us. And also, if you'll join me in the mission statement, we put God first, celebrate life, serve truth, and empower people to transform their lives. Celebration.
joy and laughter. I'm learning from my befores and afters. All in all, it's been cool. His grace has brought me through. I'm so happy being me. Oh, so happy being me. I'm regretting nothing about me. Oh, I'm too busy living life in love freely. So happy being me. Oh, ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm beginning to feel the love that God has given me, and I am so free. I'm busy living life for being happy. I'm so happy being me. All those broken dreams, oh, as we grow, we live and know. If we do our victories, I'm so happy being me. Oh, so happy being me. I'm regretting nothing about me. Oh, I'm busy living life freely. So happy being me. I'm so happy. Regretting nothing. No, no, no. So happy living life freely. So happy being me. Just being me. I'm so happy being me. Just being me. I'm so happy being me. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Just being me. All of life's hidden treasures I'm enjoying, nothing but pleasure. We can never replace God's love. No, we can't. No, we can't. But the sunlight leads us to a place, and the moonlight keeps us in God's grace. Oh, yeah. There's no place I'd rather be. Oh, being me. I'm regretting nothing about me. Oh, I'm too busy living life freely. So happy. I'm so happy being me. So happy being me. Everything is how it's supposed to be. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Yeah. So happy being me. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I'm so happy. What was lost, now I'm found. I got my feet on solid ground. Thank you, Lord. I'm so happy. You feel within your soul. Feel that happiness within your soul.
Celebration is just amazing. Kim, thank you for that lovely solo. Congratulations on the new job. You are the music director with some kids, so we are just celebrating you. Woo! So much talent here. So amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just blessed to be a part of this and a part of this community, and it just sings my soul. That's all I can say. This week we are going to continue delving into the wisdom of animals. Do they have wisdom? I think we established that last week, right? This week we're going to look at, do they know oneness? How many of you think that may be possible, that animals know oneness? Okay, good. I see some skeptics in the house. That's all right. So, what if in this discussion I give you some stories, some real true stories that may actually shift your thinking? And then, if that is true, if animals are able to understand and know oneness, what's ours to do, right? Okay. So I'm going to take you on a journey with me. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to look at animal behaviors. We're going to look at what do the scientists say about animals and consciousness. And then we're going to look at, is there something for us to do? So my journey with animals started a really long time ago, like before I could even speak words. It was just grabbing animals, right? I mean, that's how early it is. And my family thought that I had this kind of knack with animals, and there was just this rapport and this knowing. So I won't start you back there because we'll be here for a very long time, and I'm sure you have lunch plans. So what I'll do is I'll start with when I was in seminary. When I was in seminary, I had this passion, and my passion was to prove that animals had souls. Do animals have souls? And one of the cool things about being part of seminary is that every year we would have what's called the Lyceum, and it was this annual theological seminar weekend. And we would get so excited because usually there'd be like these big-time guest lecturers. So when I was there, I got to meet Bart Ehrman, who is a theologian, author, professor. I mean, his books were a lot of our primers when we were learning about theology. And he's completely irreverent, so, my kind of guy. And then the other person that I got to meet was an author and sacred activist, Andrew Harvey. And he is just this very powerful man who is calling for unity people to step up and do what is ours to do in the world. So I was like, yes! And one of the perks was that students could submit papers, and if it was worthy, we would get to be chosen to present at this conference. And so I submitted a paper called, Do Animals Have Souls? And it was chosen. Yay! And I got to present it. And in that presentation, there was a powerful story that I found in this book by Gary Kowalski entitled The Souls of Animals. And it's a poignant memory of the elephants in the Ambiselli Reserve. There's a project called the Ambiselli Elephant Research Project, and it's in Kenya. And it's under the direction of Cynthia Moss. And what they do is they look at the elephants' social behaviors, their age, and how it's structured, and then population dynamics. So I'm going to share this story with you, and then I'm going to ask you to tell me whether you believe these amazing animals have consciousness or emotions. Ready? Did you know that elephants live as long as human beings? And because they live so long, they form strong, lasting bonds. Now, these elephants, they like to roam, but their base was the Ambiselli Game Reserve. That was their base. And on their way back to the reserve, a loud bang sounded. And Tina, a 15-year-old elephant, was shot. And when that bang rose out, the rest of the herd, they were in a panic, and they took off except for Tina's immediate family. They saw that she was in distress. They saw the blood coming from her mouth. And immediately her mother, Teresia, and another adult female elephant, Trista, pushed with Tina in the middle. What they didn't know was the bullet had punctured Tina's right lung. It was a mortal wound. So mom and another matriarch in the family are trying to hold up Tina, trying to get her to get back to the reserve. And suddenly there's this shuddering breath and groan, and Tina drops. And these elephants are trying to get her to get back up. So they're kicking her and using their tusks to try to get her to move. One of the other matriarchs, Talulu, actually brought grass and tried to stuff it in Tina's mouth. The mom, Teresia, under duress, this is my daughter, takes her big tusks and lifts the tonnage that is her daughter up until there's this big snap and her tusk is broken. And there's just the ivory and bloody tissue. And they come to realize Tina's dead. And they immediately, with their trunks, take digging the dirt and start to put it on Tina's body. Some of the other elephants go and they break off brushes from the trees, branches, and they lay it on top of Tina's body. And by the time it's dark, Tina's body is covered with dirt and branches, and they don't leave. They stay there in a vigil over Tina's body until the dawn, until the sun rises. And then slowly, one by one, they leave, going back to the reserve, and Teresia is the last one to leave. Compelling narrative, isn't it? Powerful. When I first read this account, I cried. I was in awe of the love and devotion and caring that these elephants showed to each other. What do you think? Listening to that story. Conscious? Are elephants conscious? Do they have the capacity to feel emotions? Yeah, absolutely. I think this chronicle of Tina's death and the response of her family make it clear that these are aware beings that understand feelings of love, sadness, intimacy, loss, and connection. It shows that they have an understanding of familial care. The elephants of the immediate family endangered their lives to try to save and protect Tina. That's what they did. How many of us as mom, as dads, sisters and brothers wouldn't do the same thing to protect our family member? And then when they realized that Tina had died, they grieved and they honored her. Now, perhaps a lot of you can concede that yes, there are emotions, elephants have emotions, and the behavior is definitely about family connection. But maybe I haven't proven that this is about oneness. So for those of you who are my skeptics, I am going to talk a little bit about science. August 2020 in a Cell Press journal, and those journals are like those academic journals that academia, those kind of folks submit papers to. And there was a published paper that is Dimensions of Animal Consciousness is the title of it. And it's a paper written by Alexandra Schnell and Nicola Clayton. And in that paper, they first reference the Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness. Have any of you heard of that before? Okay. So let me tell you what that is. In 2012, there was a gathering of like high esteemed neuroscientists, professors that got together, and they got together at Cambridge, the University of Cambridge in the UK, and they had a consensus. And the consensus was that humans are not the only conscious beings, not the only conscious beings, and that other animals possess the neural substrates complex enough to support conscious experiences. Schnell, and Clayton created several data points in their own research that they had to discern whether animals have consciousness. And one of the criteria was determining if an animal was self-aware. Was an animal self-aware? And they write this: a more sophisticated grade of self-consciousness involves awareness of one's own body as a persisting object that exists in the world. So can they see themselves in a mirror, see a marking of themselves, and realize, that's me. I'm looking at me in the mirror. And several animals were able to do this. The chimpanzee, bottlenose dolphins, Asian elephants, and magpies. Pretty impressive, yes? All right, and then we have a professor of neurology from the University of Kentucky, Kevin Nelson, and his work was researching spiritual experiences. And he's suggesting that not only humans have them, but so do animals. Really? Yeah. So this is what he says. Of course, it's easier for people who have the capacity for language to say that they are having a spiritual experience, but he believes animals do as well. Because he's saying that the structure of the brain is very similar, right? He's saying that things like primates, horses, cats, dogs have such similar structure that they too can experience mystical experiences. They can have mystical experiences and may even have a sense of spiritual oneness. And then we all know about Jane Goodall, right? She's done some amazing work with chimpanzees, and she has said that she's witnessed chimpanzees just wild abandon of dancing as they watched the waterfalls fill after a heavy rain. And then they sat by the waterfall on the rocks in awe of what they were seeing. Now, last week I mentioned being out in nature is one of the fastest ways for us to connect to Source, right? Because we get to witness the magnificence that is God. So why would we think animals wouldn't have reverence? Why wouldn't they be in reverence of what the universe is creating? In our hubris, we have come to believe that we are the most intelligent, conscious, self-aware, that's a question mark, self-aware, and spiritual beings on the planet. But that's a very myopic and limited belief. There are so many things that we are still discovering, still uncovering, even learning recently that trees are communal. Trees are communal. There is now substantial research and evidence that trees make alliances with other trees and species. There was an article in the Smithsonian Magazine that interviewed Peter Vollenben, and he is a German forester and author, and he says this about trees. He says that all trees are connected underground through a fungal network. And trees share water and nutrients through these networks. And that's also how they can communicate. They sense distress, they send distress signals to others. If there's a drought, if there's disease, if there's an insect invasion. And they let the other trees know, and they alter their behavior. I read a story about the giraffes who, they eat those acacia trees. And once they start eating it, that acacia tree will send out some hormones to the others, and their chemical composition of the leaves will change so that it's bitter, so that the giraffe won't enjoy that and won't start munching on them. But of course, giraffes, they've evolved with these acacia trees, so they figured it out a little bit, right? And what they would do is when they start eating, they make sure that they are downwind, so they get to munch a little bit. It's just amazing what these majestic trees, I always thought of them as just these individual trees, right? But to discover that there's a neural network that resembles the human brain and that they're all interconnected around a mature tree. So that mature tree acts like the mother, and they communicate. The saplings, that you see a few saplings there, they're communicating and they're getting rich nutrients from that hub tree. And they communicate by emitting hormones or defensive signals, right? And these hubs, these mother trees, are purposefully and sacrificially ensuring the health of the community, the health of the forest. My friends, that's the very definition of oneness, isn't it? So if trees understand oneness, just work with me here, and they can create an ecosystem to sustain themselves, why wouldn't animals operate similarly? So, what have we discussed so far? We've talked about the emotions, the consciousness, right, of elephants. We've talked about the seeing oneness within the species. We've looked at the scientific studies that have been going on recently. But I want to share another story with you that really asks us to look at oneness from another level. In case you're wondering, what's with all the elephants, Rev? They're like my animal, For my birthday last year, Graham got us a ticket to go to an elephant preserve. Did you know there's an elephant preserve out by Fredericksburg? There is. And so I went, and for the first time, I got to hug an elephant's trunk. Tears, that's all I could tell you. Tears. Because I know that there's so much more than just what we see on the outside there, So this story comes from 2012. There was a report that 2 herds of elephants walked 12 hours together to arrive at Lawrence Anthony's house because he passed away. They walked 12 hours to pay their respects to this man. Why? Because in 1999, he opened the Thula Thula Game Reserve. He didn't think that he was going to be the caretaker of elephants. That wasn't his initial plan. But there was a group, couple of herds, of elephants that were violent, wild, and really the people didn't know how to manage them. And he knew that if he did not take them in, these elephants would be destroyed. So he took him in. And one night, Nana, the matriarch, goes, I'm going through this fence, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. You see, these elephants had gone through electrified fences. They were like, nothing's keeping us in. And Anthony puts his body in between Nana and the fence. I say crazy, but okay, right? And he pleads with her, don't do this. If you do this, you and the herd are going to be killed. You'll be destroyed. Don't do this. And he knows the elephant can't understand the words, of course, but he's hoping somehow energetically he'll get through. And he tells her, this is the safe place for you. You'll have enough food, care, stay here. Nana looked, turned around, and stayed on the reserve. And the rest of the herd, of course, followed the matriarch. And Anthony knew at that point that he's going to have to stay there and live with them, right, until they get settled in. And over time, they bonded, and they came to really see Anthony and his wife as loyal caregivers. And then, March 2nd, 2012, Anthony died of a heart attack. No one told them this, right? They didn't get a letter. There was no telephone or cell phone coverage for them. But they knew he died. And they marched 12 hours to get there. And they sat in a vigil, or stood in a vigil, it's probably more accurate, for 2 days to honor this person. How is it possible? How is it possible for these elephants to know? How is that possible? My answer is that I believe energetically, spiritually, we have the capacity to connect in oneness, as these elephants did, right? So we can see by my discussion with you that elephants have the capacity to grieve, to love, to honor the essence of another, and they know there is no separation. Amen? So what about us humans? What about us humans? So let's start with the basic. Are we finally ready to just say humanity is one? Can we just start there? Are we willing to release the lie that says division and separation are required for a society to be successful? Are we ready to let go tribalism that says there's a right and wrong? Okay. So I'm going to go there. My friends, there is no religion that is right. What? There is no religion that is right. Religion is a man-made construct. A man-made construct by men who attempted to create God in their image. Some men saw God as mean and vengeful. Some saw God as a dictator of rules that must be adhered to or damnation for them, right? Some saw God as a way to control the people. And these concepts, my friend, are all antithesis of truth. God is love and wants you to remember that you are part of it, and therefore you are love. I'm also going to go here. There is no political right party. There is no political right party. We go at war over this crazy concept. Once again, a construct. a construct created by two wealthy slave owners in the 1790s. Is that the history that you want to honor? We have to be in the question, my friend. We have to be in the question. There was the Federalist that was led by Secretary of Treasury Alexander Hamilton, and he wanted a strong government. And then there was the Anti-Federalist led by Secretary of State Thomas Jefferson, who advocated states' rights instead of centralized power. That's the beginning of our two-party system here in the USA. In George Washington's farewell speech, as the outgoing first president of the United States, he opposed the two-party system and warned against hyper-partisanship. John Adams, the second president, came in and he said, quote, he was worried that a division of the republic into two great parties is to be dreaded as the great political evil, end quote. I'm going here too. There is no race that is right either. The history of race, once again, an idea created by men that came into existence in the 16th century. Do you know why? Differentiation between free and owned people. There is no race. There is only humanity. And the time, my friends, is now. It's time to stand up. It's time to create anew. It's time for us to be in the question of what society says is normal. It's not normal to hate someone simply because they look different than you. It's not normal to hate someone because they politically disagree with you. It's not normal to allow semi-automatic and automatic guns in our society when the only purpose is to annihilate as many people as possible indiscriminately in the shortest amount of time. We are better than this. We are better than this. We are better than this. My friends, we are what the world is waiting for, and we can no longer be silent. We can no longer be silent. We cannot be positive angels in the world saying, I'm not going to look at this. I'm not going to look at this because I don't want to get derailed from being uplifted. This is the life that we're living in, my friends. Our responsibility is to come from a place of love. We must be like the elephants, knowing that there is only oneness, moving from a place of care for everyone, regardless of race, sexual orientation, political agenda. We must stand, we must act. And the power is in your hands, no one else's. Don't wait for the legislator. That ain't gonna happen. Don't wait for somebody else to do this. It's you, it's you, it's you. So my question is, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to do? I've only heard one recommendation from this community about what we could do. We, as a community, have power. This is Unity Church of the Hills. What are we going to do? I'm waiting.
from my
with
mouth.
words from my
See,
mouth.
I love you.
I love
And I need you.
need you to survive. I pray for
You
you.
pray for me.
You pray for
See,
me.
I love you.
I love
and I
you.
need you.
Need you to survive. I won't harm
With
you
words from my
with
mouth.
words from my
See, I
mouth.
love you.
I love you. I need you to survive. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to
Take it up and say,
survive. I pray for you.
oh, you
You
pray for me.
pray for
I
me.
love you.
I love you.
And I
I
need you.
need you to survive. I won't harm you
With words from
with
my mouth.
words from my
See,
mouth.
I love you.
I love you. I need you to survive. It is God's will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive.
Let's take that nice deep breath in. Sigh it out. Another deep breath in and out. As we come together, we know those words from the song are powerful. I pray for you, and you pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. Oneness, oneness, oneness. We are at that stage, my friends, to access truth, to access the divine and be that in our lives, in our words, in our actions. I know I'm preaching again. I'll get you there, I promise. So as we come together in this time of opening up our energy fields, opening up our consciousness, opening up our minds, opening up our hearts, allow that unfolding to happen. Don't try to constrict it. Allow your soul to know it is safe to open. And as you open up, feel that immense power, that immense field of love that is you. Now is the time to be that courageous, loving presence that you are, to claim it, to own it. You are everlasting. You are more than this shell that we occupy in this period of time. You cannot be destroyed. And you are part of God. saying yes to incarnating now, because you are here to do great things. And so as you feel yourself open and willing and filled with love, allow that connection to be tripled as you connect to Source. Energetically, allow the divine, the universal energy to connect you all now. And at the sound of my voice, I invite you to allow your body to hold that magnitude of energy if possible. Allow it to stretch your skin a little bit, because this is the truth of who you are meant to be. And in this moment, feel your power. Feel the creation of God rippling through you, calling you higher, calling you to step into your purpose. Take a deep breath and exhale. Allow your mind to wrap around the fact that your energy field is larger. Allow yourself to be aware of where your feet are, where your butt is, where your back is. Be here now, renewed, rejuvenated, sanctified. You may open your eyes when you feel comfortable, stretch a little bit. You are so powerful, and I am changed by you at depth. Namaste.
Thank you, Reverend Sheree. Good afternoon, you guys. How many of you are pet owners? Okay, and and how many of us, as Reverend Sheree was speaking, thought, yeah, conscious beings. Yeah, I think so. I have 2 cats, 2 dogs, very lesbian, I know. And they are united in one and in the knowing that I'm their servant. So I'd like to invite the ushers to come on down. This is the time when we have the opportunity to give to our community, and we are so blessed in this community. I think we all felt the energy of oneness today. There are multiple ways to give. On the screen here, we have everything, whether it's via the app, PayPal, in person, or Rod's favorite way, cryptocurrency. And we are always happy to take your dollars, checks, and change. Please feel the energy of oneness with me as we speak our offering. Is it up there? No. There we go. Our offering blessing. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I am, all that I circulate, and I am grateful.
Thank you, Lori.
is no sunshine, nothing but clouds, and it's dark in my heart, and it feels like a cold night. Today's a new day, but where are my blue skies? Where is the love and the joy that you promised me? Tell me it's alright.
I'll be honest.
I almost gave up, but a power that I can't explain fell from heaven like a shower now. I smile, even though it hurts, see I smile. I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I've been here for a while, I smile, smile. It's so hard to look up when you look down. Sure would hate to see you give up now. You look so much better when you smile, smile. Today's a new day, but there is no sunshine, nothing but clouds, and it's dark in my heart, and it feels like a cold night. Today's a new day, but tell me, where are my blue skies? Where is the love and the joy that you promised me? Tell me it's alright. I almost gave up, but a power that I can't explain fell from heaven like a shower now.
No matter what you're going through, all you gotta do is stand up
I
and
smile,
come on.
even though it hurts, see I smile. I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I've been here for a while, I smile, smile.
Hallelujah.
It's so hard to look up when you look down. Sure would hate to see you give up now.
See you give up
You
now.
look so much better when you smile.
Hey.
Smile for me. Can you just smile for me?
Whatever you're going through.
Smile for me. Can you just smile for me?
Celebration sing.
Oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you smile. I almost gave up, but a power that I can't explain fell from heaven like a shower now. Hey, right now. I smile, even though it hurts, see I smile. I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I've been here for a while, I smile, smile. It's so hard to look up when you look down. Sure would hate to see you give up now. You look so much better when you smile. You look so much better when you oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you oh, oh, oh. You look so much better when you smile, smile. I smile, I smile, I smile, smile.
One more time.
I smile.
One more time.
I smile. I smile.
Michelle, come on up. Were you talking to Michelle? Good morning. It's great to see you. Michelle's just started coming here, by the way. So give her some love. And you notice she's volunteering. Give her some love. So we just take a moment to just be in awe of all of these gifts, that we know that it's energetic, beyond the money. And we claim prosperity, abundance, joy, security for each and every giver. And we see that spreading out throughout this community, throughout Austin, changing lives. And so it is, amen. Thank you, sweetheart. Reggie's up. My partner in crime.
Ma'am. So glad you're here. So glad
I
you're
don't
here.
think we did the memo. Do you know what I'm saying? But it looks good on you. You can wear anything, and it looks good on you. That's
Thank
what
you.
I love about that.
Thank you. Two quick things before I get into the announcements. In case you're wondering what this is all about, there is a Facebook post where we have encouraged everyone to post their pictures of their pets and what you've learned from that pet. So this is just one of them. So continue to make those posts, and we'll continue to share them. The second side note is, in the interest of me not sleeping on the couch tonight, I have to announce that my husband bought me this jacket. So I'd be in big trouble if I didn't tell you that. So thanks, Danny. Love you. All right, to the official announcements. Prayer chaplains, if you are compelled for whatever reason to want to connect one-on-one with a prayer chaplain, they are available immediately after service in the chapel. Share your good news, share your bad news, anything in between. They're there for you. If you are watching us online, there's a number on the screen. Call that number, and a prayer chaplain will call you back. Volunteer leadership training is coming up June 25th, 9 to 12 a.m. in Friendship Hall. So if you want to level up your volunteer skills, feel free to come and join us. This training will introduce a new paradigm for volunteering and empower everyone to rise to a new level. Visit unityhills.org to register. All right, July 3rd, we were going to have a Austin Civic Wind Ensemble concert, but for logistical reasons, they aren't able to make that happen, so they're postponing that till December. But in the meantime, we're having a karaoke and potluck. July 3rd, 1:30 p.m. Bring your own plates, bring your patriotism, and we will be there for you. Sunday, June 19th, Father's Day. It's also Juneteenth here in Texas. Rev Sheree will not be here, but we were doing the guy thing. LUT Rick Busby will be here in her place. He will be continuing the exploration of the wisdom of animals. A special Father's Day Sunday message titled The Love of the Father takes a deep dive into the natural wisdom, creative intelligence, and persevering strength embodied in the Divine Father and patterned in nature. So join him and us next week. So at this point, we'd like to bid a fond farewell to our online congregants. We're going to send them off with a prayer for protection. Thank you all for joining us online. Please join us here next week and every week after. Thank you for joining us. In the meantime, here in real life, we are...
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.